I want to thank people for all the comments and everything they've done on my videos here about history and of course the Bantu. And I'll be looking a little bit more at this and certainly be waiting for different people's comments, and other researchers will be looking at these things. But it suddenly occurred to me that we had a lot of these celebrities doing the Bantu hair knots, and we know how important hair is to these people. Remember the old musical Hair, and certainly we see this around. And look at this one eye bit here with looks like Miley Cyrus, but I'm not sure it is. But certainly they're high cheekboners. And as we can see, this is everywhere. It's a Bantu people thing. And Rhiannon, of course, is one that is very popular with the Bantu business. We've seen this and been talked about. It's like horns, isn't it? So you see, they're secretly telling us a lot of things. Here, the Bantu knots with Rhiannon. And look at the green lipstick. There's some strange things here. This is all feeding the conspiracy people in its own way too. We know how everything feeds off one to the other. And of course, a lot of people are happy to be on one side of the dialectic or the other. And look here, there's even in Asia you have something like this going on too. Looks a bit like the moon goddess idea that relates, Jade Rabbit and all that business. So yes, Bantu hair knots. 666 or number 9 maybe. Look at it. It's a strange little world we're living in. Who'd do this to their hair anyway? It's certainly a popular idea somewhere in Hollywood. If it was Meghan Markle with these knots somewhere, I wouldn't be surprised. And there it is, the Rhiannon. Strange kettle of fish indeed. This business here. Bantu wax. The knot out, the Bantu hair knot out. And those lips on there, that doesn't look right, does it? Very much the Joan Rivers style lips. Certainly some secret history, no doubt, involved in this. And it'd be good when more people start really open-minded looking at these things and discard everything that King James and every other monarchy figure has ever told them, and look a bit deeper, and we can all share that information and we can learn. That's why I like the Histros channel. It's one of the only ones that pushes the parameters here. So many are of the well, they're all part of the system somewhere. We've noticed that with all these people like John Todd, and they take the records and they put demons into the records. I mean, doesn't that feed a whole lot of people? We've seen so many of those things. Jordan Maxwell and his Yoda. There's so much that's incorrect. So we're just battling on, trying to find a little bit of reality somewhere and learn something. And certainly I share with people a lot around just how many fake things there are. And a lot of people thank me later and say, I saw something in the press and before I would have been affected by it. But after I heard what you said, I'm able to see through the ridiculous, fantastic nature of a lot of these things. There's certainly some strange stuff involving Africa. And we've talked about this before with the Liberian girl, Sarah Ferguson. And I saw a really interesting picture here actually with a red-headed lady hanging with these Bantu. I don't know whether I'll find the picture again that easy, but she was red-headed, but she had the same facial features in a way. Oh, here it is. Look, something strange about this, isn't it? Look, these two look like they could be sisters, don't they? Something about the red and the black. Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker red, Johnny Walker black. Interesting all this stuff that these people wear too, I must admit. And it's a very strange story, this one, out of Africa and the Bantu. So I'll be doing more research of that. So I'm just saying, anybody that's got any ideas of these things, please share in the comments. And we'll try and pursue this and learn a bit. Look at these guys here. See the black and the red. Everything's the black and the red. Certainly Rihanna's popping up everywhere in the images to do with Bantu and hair knots. This business here. Oh, hang on, here's the bat line. But answer it. Okay, hang on. And I just did a quick search here on Nini. NN, none. And this one came up. This is a bit on the moon goddess idea, isn't it? Some interesting things come up when you type in Ni. And of course, I thought straight of a new mate too, the Knights of Ni, which are the Crusader Knights, of the Holy Grail. So really, nothing hidden somewhere. This is Wukong. Whoever that is, a bit of a King Kong. This is Nini. Nini in 1988. What an interesting old year, eh? The Phoenix thing on The Economist, the birth of Beatrice, and the Nini movie. Knights of Ni. Camp musical, it says here. Mary Ann Lambert. Now, of course, Mary Ann is their idea, isn't it? Yeah, we've talked about that before. And I was only listening to something the other day. They were talking about the establishment of America and the Jacobites and Mary Ann. And, of course, it's Mary Ann McLeod, isn't it, with Mr. Trump? So no prizes there. And we typed in Nini Jesus. This is an interesting statue, isn't it? This is something else here, but it's just interesting. It came up under that search. Kame Ni Jesus. Letters of pink. And they people, maybe. Very interesting indeed. And the umbrellas, of course, we know that idea. Yeah, I see at this place here we have Mary in the grotto. No, this came up under a search, Jesus Nini. The Nini Jesus here, and as you can see, this is very female Jesus indeed. And strange things, often from the Philippines, but this one here comes from Pakistan apparently, according to the information there. Sagrado Corazon Nino. It's a rather interesting image here. This is the Holy Infant of Atocha. And there's again a few different depictions. Seems to change colours. A lot of these things do, as you know. Maybe they're different ideas. Saint Nina, in fact, on this one. The Nino Jesus House of Studies, 1982. Very rose, isn't it? So, as we know, the roses are Christians, and here it is, the Rosy Cross. Here's a bit of a Rosy Cross football team, no doubt from the Philippines. The Knights of Ni, the keepers of the sacred words. How's that, eh? Ni Pano, Ni Wom. And certainly something like the idea of the Bantu hairstyle here going on. Or it might remind me of a deer, and we know deers are another one of their little things. Straight out of the Holy Grail. So, the Knights of Ni. So nothing that's in this media doesn't tell you who are the Knights who say Ni. Yeah, nothing in the media that doesn't tell us something anyway. But of course, those with closed minds will never even want to ask the questions. Spamalot, the Knights of Ni. I'll get remind me later. Okay, Nini, na, Nini, na, look, little Batman here, the Knights of Ni, and that's very, you know what that looks like now, don't you? Isn't this strange stuff? Everywhere you look at these things, there's just so many strange things. It's very hard to put the exact finger on it all. As you can see, things, there's a lot of knowledge that we are not privy to. That's all the point I'm making. So anyone who runs with, they're really happy with everything they've been told since a little child, I say, well, I'm sorry about that, but I wasn't happy when I was a little kid. I used to say, hey, I used to ask big questions, and I always got funny answers. I got the Ni answer. Yes, they're looking for the shrubbery. The Knights who say Ni. Read that there yourself, and there's some connection here with the Batman, the Dark Knight who says Ni. That's what it says here. Look, I'll show you. The Dark Knight Who Says Knee. A few people might look at this and get back to me with some interesting ideas. That's for certain. Well, look, old Lego, Elgo. Monty Python's Holy Grail has made it to Lego. That's very interesting indeed, isn't it? And of course the rabbit. Look, there's the rabbit. Like a Trojan horse, but it's a rabbit. Yes, the Trojan rabbit. Well, how's this? Interview with Abracadabra from the Knights of Knee. And here's from the Kelly gang. Oh, blame it on the Kellys. Another thing we've looked at a lot in the time here. Some sort of Knights of Knee on one of these gamer things. And all this stuff is, but there it is, the interview with Abracadabra. Aha, the Knights of Knee, the con, and it's the shrubbery. Get thee to a shrubbery. This is a Knights Who Say Knee t-shirt. Blowing the trumpets. Donald Trumpet. Well, nice pink pants here and quite wide in the hips now, aren't we? Knee, 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 knee. In, of course, in reverse. We no longer say knee, we say eki, 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 pintang, zoom, boing. Oh, and one of their favourite things, eh? The old octagon here with knee. And I was just thinking about stop too, eh? An ST operation. We know that idea, don't we? Well, I just can't believe this search is just endless. So there's certainly a lot of information here that I've never seen any other channel talk about this much, so I thought I'd better cover it just out of interest. And certainly those Monty Python movies, very interesting. Life of Brian Boru, fabricating history and where they've got different ideas from. Seems like they've pulled a few ideas together. Certainly Ireland is involved, Bantu, Spain and Armenia. There's a few interesting places anyway I've mentioned. And of course somewhat all involved in the Holy Grail and Life of Brian stories. There's an interesting one here from Monty Python. And to me this gives you a bit of an idea of a flat plane, doesn't it? Where the light is travelling there flat. So more research going on, and I will be feeding off different people's ideas and having a look what they say about these things, because it's good when we all work together. And all these people who have negative comments, well, you can stay in your little fairyland if you like, but we like to go a bit forward here. So shout out to all those people who have already added some really good information. Of course, Histros comes to mind, Julian Carter, with all her knowledge of language. Tom Carberry there, good comments. Barry O'Neill, great comments, and so many others who really put a bit of effort into their comments, that's for sure. No, look at this one, hey, old Denver, Colorado, another very interesting place indeed when it all comes down, isn't it? An old airport. Knee, 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 knee in the 2017 National Jamboree. This is a good one. The Under of Down. Topsy-turvy world. And this is some Ni Okaru. He's a knight of Ni from Japan. Yes, Nini na nini, I am that I am. Will I am. And the truth is in our DNA, in thee. The original Bantu name of God. So there we go. I am that I am. Nana, nini, nini, nono. See, it's everywhere. Mary's father from the 5 daughters. And here we have the Abagushi. Now that's a very Rihanna looking. I said Rihanna, who cares? Same deal. And of course the old song. And the red and the black always, because Rihanna's always pictured with the red hair. Here we are. There's a lot on this actually around. Certainly a very interesting story. Yeah, so definitely a lot more research needed on this topic, and I'm trusting that people will be looking at this. It's funny how this little crew of images coming up here, and that turns back up, which we saw before in the same little crew. And here's some of the artwork here, and a Kardashian lookalike type idea. And gee, we've got, I think, of course, Nimrod with knee. And the real meaning there. Now we can see here the definitely pretty good girth in the hip there. So that's no doubt part of the whole thing. And we've got here. The noble way. And then you see the big lip. So many things connecting at the hip here, it's amazing. One to the other, out of Africa. Here we are, Arab and India. I knew there was going to be some Indian involvement as well. It's just one thing after the other. And we have Stephen Biko, eh? It's turning up in this search. Oh, here's one. Here's business here. All right, more work needs to be done. And look, Arabic too, you see. And all this stuff here. Look at the lips too. It's always in the lips, isn't it? The lippy lips. And look at this stuff here, you know. Ridiculous stuff. As somebody said, do you think an advanced civilization would talk with ducks and little bowls and little figures of little animals and stuff? Or wouldn't they have a language? That doesn't seem right, does it? Not at all. Out of the box. Journey out of the box, that's for sure. And back to this, you see, keeps turning up. The horns. What is this? Is this man or woman? I'm not sure. And the Council of Ni, the Seers of Ni. Okay, more work still to be done. Stay tuned. Thanks everyone for all your positive comments.